Welcome back, my groovy ghouls, to Coughing Break. First off, I want to say thank you. Thank you to those who have watched my videos recently. I checked on my channel for the first time in a while, and seeing this was amazing. It made my day, and it's the reason I'm recording right now. Especially if you subscribe. Today's video is not horror related, but it is a quick fun video to get back on my feet. Today's film that we will talk about is Bob's Burger, the movie. What I'm going to review about Bob's Burgers is How to Be a Landlord. I watched the Bob's Burger movie twice in the same week when it first came out. It is very amazing, very fun. Go watch it. I think if you haven't seen Bob's Burgers episode, you will still enjoy this movie. When I saw the film, I had only seen the first 3 seasons out of the 12 at this moment. I got a Hulu subscription and I'm on season 7. So, in the both viewings they did for Bob's Burgers, I don't know why, but the landlord characters just stuck to me both times. I think it's because I used to work for some landlords for about 7 years. And I want to share how you can be a landlord. I will refer to the landlords I work for as the brothers because they were brothers and they owned 10 properties. These landlord characters are the most realistic characters I've seen on TV. I'm aware that there's some landlords from hell, so don't get me wrong. The landlords I work for were not angels. I'm just gonna bring to light what I know and what I learned from working for these landlords. Hopefully, this can help you out somehow as a tenant. Step 1. Remain calm at all times, except when you're on the phone, yelling at your employees. When I worked for the landlords, many situations came up, such as aggressive tenants. Tenants would come by to argue the rent fees, why the rent went up every year. Eviction. Out of all the years I worked with the landlords, there was only one eviction. Parking problems. People would park on the fire lane. Loose pets, usually aggressive dogs running loose, and so on. When the brothers were on site, they remained calm no matter the situation. Even when the police had to be called, it was amazing to see at first because there were some very upsetting situations and they remained calm and trying to let the situation escalate beyond what they can control. Now, if you were a staff member on the phone with the brothers, they would lose their crap and cuss you out. So, again, they were not angels. Step 2, sticking to their lease contract. If you haven't sat down and read your lease contract, you will know how to use it to your advantage. Landlords, at least a good landlord, will base off their actions off the rental contract. In the film, Linda asks to skip a rent payment. Mr. Fisher says maybe. That's probably because he would need to review their most recent payments and contract to see how much wiggle room is there for a skip rent payment. For the brothers, if you give them a 5-day notice that your rent was going to be late, they will waive the late fees. And if you would be late for a certain amount of months, they would call you and ask you what's going on. But if you explain that your pay schedule was off or they were paying off some debt, they would typically let you pay late as long as you give them a heads up. Which also brings me to the end of the film. Bob and his family save Mr. Fisher's life and prove him innocent. He just barely lets them skip out on the rent payment. Not much after that. That's because in the contract it doesn't say, if you save my life, you get a year free rent. Step 3. Be acquainted with your tenants, but not friends. Mr. Fisher calls the Belcher family burger people. And he knows the basics of the family. He knows Bob is the main person of the contract and his wife and kids, and that's it. When I work for the brothers, they give us a rule from day one. Don't become a friend with the tenants. Do not attend their parties or celebrations. As a property owner or a manager, you need to make sure you keep that line clear. You, of course, need to respect your tenants because they are human. If you become more than acquaintances, tenants are going to want special treatment. But you can't provide that special treatment if you can't provide it to all your tenants because it becomes a very unfair situation. You can still chat with your property manager, owner on your day to day life. Just be aware for them, it's small talk. Lastly, these are things you can do as a tenant that hopefully will help you out during your lease. Number 1, keep a log of any problems in the property. Go to the dollar store, buy a yearly planner, write down whenever there's a problem. For example, Monday, March 1st, sink started leaking, submitted work order. Wednesday, March 3rd, maintenance came by at 3 and fixed the leak. Saturday, sink leaked again, texted landlord, will come by later this afternoon. Number 2, keep your landlord informed. If you know you're going to miss a payment, let the landlord know. You don't have to go into super details. Just tell, hi, landlord, my crowd broke down. The repair costs are going to take most of my check. can I please submit the rent on the 15th instead of the 1st? Or if you let them know, hey, landlord, I had an expected emergency. I'm able to pay 500 the first of the month. I can pay the rest of the rent on the 15th. Landlords mainly care about when the money is going to come in. So if you let them know that it's going to be late, they will be a little more standing. You need to make sure you're doing your part as a tenant. Number three, read your contract. You might not be able to read the contract the day you're signing it, but you need to read that contract within 1 week of moving in. Don't skip sections, read all of it, because there might be a section that says if you turn in your keys 15 days before your last day, you get half your deposit back. One of the apartments I live with where I didn't read the contract, the apartments provided one free carpet cleaning a year. And that would have helped when I checked out of those apartments and they charged me a $300 fee for cleaning the carpet. So these were my quick thoughts on how to be a landlord. I love how Bob's Burgers present their landlord because the brothers I work for were in the same character and attitude. I know not every landlord is like this. I have seen some of the horror stories tenants have and how they suffered. There's landlords who are kind and understanding. The only thing we can do as tenants is pay the rent and keep an event log and read our contracts. Hopefully everybody's doing okay right now. It's been a very hard week, but I will get back into this. It made me very happy, and I'm very excited to continue. I have probably one more fun video and then a horror video. So please stay tuned. Till death do us part, my groovy ghouls.